Let's get brutally honest for a second. Have you ever been hanging out with her, laughing, vibing, and then later realized, wait, was she dropping hints I completely missed? You're kicking yourself, replaying every word she said, wondering if that little comment about needing a hug or that playful jab about you being too far away was actually her inviting you in, or if you're just seeing what you want to see. Sound way too familiar? Here's the jaw-dropping truth. We girls drop secret phrases when we want closeness, little verbal breadcrumbs that scream, I'm into you, come closer, wake up! And most of you are letting them fly right over your heads. Those tiny words? They're not random. They're packed with big feelings, and if you don't catch them, she might think you're clueless, distant, or worse, not interested. But what if I told you there's a way to tune into these signals, to hear her invitations loud and clear, and know for sure she's craving that connection? Stick with me because I'm about to break down the secret phrases that reveal everything. Let's dive deep into this game changer. We women aren't always going to spell it out for you. Sometimes we can't, sometimes we won't, but trust me, our words are doing the talking. When we're feeling that pull, that spark, that need for closeness, we drop hints, little verbal nudges that invite you to step up. The problem? Most of you are deaf to them, focusing on the big stuff, her laugh, her stories, while missing the goldmine of clues she's leaving all over the conversation. Those secret phrases? They're like coded messages, quiet signals that tell you exactly where you stand. And here's the kicker, if you don't hear them, she's not just disappointed, she's frustrated, wondering why you're not picking up what she's putting down. But here's the good news. Once you learn to tune into these signs, it's like unlocking a superpower. You'll know when she's craving that connection, when she's testing you, when she's flirting, when she's pulling back, everything. And that edge? It's going to change the game for you. Ready to stop fumbling and start hearing her for real? Let's break it all down, phrase by phrase, so you can catch those big feelings hiding in the smallest words. Let's start with the classic. I feel so safe with you, because when she says this, it's not just a compliment, it's an invitation. She's telling you she trusts you, she's comfortable, and she's craving more of that warmth. Psychology says feeling safe is the foundation of intimacy, and if she's dropping this line, she's opening the door for you to step closer, physically, emotionally, or both. Don't just nod and say, thanks, lean into it. Try, I'm glad you feel that way, you're making it tough to stay cool over here. It's flirty, it's smooth, and it keeps her engaged. Or add a little twist, lower your voice, hold her gaze, and say, safe, huh? Guess I'll have to keep you close then. It's direct, it's confident, and it builds that connection. But if you miss it, brushing it off like it's nothing, she'll think you're not interested. That's your first phrase, boom, you've caught her trust, and she's feeling that pull. Another big one. You're so far away, because when she says this, it's not just about physical distance, it's her craving closeness. Maybe you're sitting across the table, or you're on the couch and she's on the other end, and she drops this line with a little laugh or a playful pout. That's her saying, I want you nearer, wake up. Psychology says women use indirect language to test your reaction, and if she's dropping this hint, she's hoping you'll close that gap. Don't just laugh it off, move closer, smirk, and say, you're right, I'm fixing that right now. Or add a little humor. Slide over, rest your arm near hers and say, better? Or should I get even closer? It's playful, it's smooth, and it keeps her smiling. But if you stay put, shrugging it off like, yeah, I guess she'll think you're not picking up the vibe. That's your second phrase, boom, you've caught her need and she's feeling that spark. Then there's I need a hug, because when she says this, it's not just about comfort, it's about connection. Maybe she's had a rough day, or maybe she's just feeling that pull, and she drops this line with a little sigh or a shy smile. That's her saying, I want your warmth, your touch, come closer. Psychology says physical touch releases oxytocin, that bonding chemical, and if she's asking for it, she's craving that intimacy. Don't just say, "Oh, okay." Wrap her up tight, hold her a little longer than usual and say, "I've got you, feeling better yet?" Or add a little twist, pull her in, sway slightly and say, "You're making it tough to let go, what's your game plan?" It's flirty, it's smooth, and it builds that tension. But if you miss it, brushing it off like, "Later," she'll think you're distant. That's your third phrase. Boom, you've caught her craving and she's feeling that connection. Another sneaky one. "You're so good at making me laugh," because when she says this, it's not just about humor, it's about attraction. Maybe you've cracked a dumb joke and she drops this line with a big grin or a little laugh. That's her saying, "I'm enjoying you, I'm feeling good, keep it up." Psychology says laughter releases endorphins, and if she's pointing it out, she's craving more of that vibe. Don't just nod, lean into it. Try, "Oh, you're easy to please, guess I'll have to keep you laughing then." Or add a little humor, wink, say, "Careful, you're making me dangerous, what's next?" It's playful, it's smooth, and it keeps her engaged. But if you miss it, shrugging it off like, "Thanks," she'll think you're not catching the spark. That's your fourth phrase. Boom, you've caught her joy and she's feeling that pull. And don't sleep on, "I feel like we've known each other forever," because when she says this, it's not just about time, it's about trust. Maybe you've been talking for hours, or maybe it's just a vibe and she drops this line with a warm smile or a soft sigh. That's her saying, "I'm comfortable, I'm connected, come closer." Psychology says feeling familiar builds intimacy, and if she's dropping this hint, she's craving that deeper bond. Don't just say, "Yeah, me too," lean into it. Try, "You're right, it's crazy how easy this feels. What's your secret?" Or add a little twist, lower your voice, hold her gaze and say, "You're making it tough to stay cool, what's next?" It's flirty, it's smooth, and it builds that tension. But if you miss it, brushing it off like, "Cool," she'll think you're not interested. That's your fifth phrase. Boom, you've caught her trust and she's feeling that connection. So how do you use all this? Pay attention next time she talks. Listen for these phrases, catch the tone, feel the vibe. If she's dropping hints about safety, distance, hugs, laughter, or connection, she's handing you the keys. Step up, flirt back, and say, "You're making it real tough to play it cool. What's your next move?" She'll love that you're catching her signals, and it'll pull her closer. Stop missing the signs and start hearing her for real. She's out there, waiting for you to wake up and make it happen. Loved this? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment with the wildest phrase you've ever missed. I'll catch you in the next one.